What's up everybody, Aditya Mahajan here and welcome back to yet another YouTube video. In today's video, we'll be talking about another lead code question number 1209, also called as remove all adjacent duplicates in string 2. It has also been asked in day 16 of April lead code challenge, so let's get started. Given a string S, a k duplicate removal consists of choosing a k adjacent and equal letters from S and removing them, causing the left and the right side of the deleted substring to concatenate together. We repeatedly make k duplicate removals on S until we no longer can. Return the final string after all such duplicate removals have been made. It is guaranteed that the answer is unique. So what basically they have done is they have created a term called as k duplicate removal, and this term basically means that we need to choose k adjacent letters which are equal, and we need to remove those k adjacent letters from the given string. So the remaining left and the right side substrings we need to concatenate together and make a string again, and we need to keep on doing this operation again and again till we no longer can. And the final string, that whatever we are left with, we need to return that as output. And also it is mentioned that the answer is unique. So let us look at some of the examples. These are the same examples that we are given. So the first example that we have is, think of S is ABCD and here we have K is equal to 2. So we need to pick two letters which are same and adjacent to each other. So in this, all the letters are unique, so we do not have to delete anything. Now let us look at the second example. We have input as S, that is DEE, this is the following string, and we are given K equals to 3. And the final output, expected output is AA, which is the final string. So basically here K equals to 3, so we need to pick all the substrings from the string so that the letters, each letters are adjacent and they are same. Okay, so basically this is the original string that we have, and here we can see that triple E and triple C are the same. So we can directly remove them from the original string, and our resulting string would be DD triple B D double A. Now we can see that triple B is also coming 3 times, so we can also remove that too, and we are left with triple D AA. And now here we can see that triple D we are getting it, so we just remove that again and we are left with double A. So if we do the same thing for the third example too, we have the output as PS. Now that we have understood the problem statement, let us think of how we can approach it. So the basic intuition that someone can come up at the start of the problem is, let's make the k windows, because we need to find k consecutive elements which are same. So let's make a window of size k and then keep on moving it further. And if we find a window in which all the elements are same, like for example this window and this window, then we just remove them. So once removed, we again take a window with the newer string that we have. This would be the newer string, and then we need to move the window of size k again in that string too. Then we remove that and keep on doing further till we do not have any window which can be removed, right? But the problem with this approach is that we are doing a lot of unnecessary work that we have already done. So this would go in time complexity of O of n square, but we need something more efficient. So the other thing that we can do is we can maybe use some space and keep the counter, so that how much number of times or how many number of times any particular element has occurred. So let's say we are iterating the string, right? So every time we get with a new element, we just store the number of time it has occurred in the previous string. So let's say first we are starting with D, so we have D equal to 1. Then we have E, which is a new element, so we put a new element, that is E equal to 1. Then again we get another E, so we just increment that, we make it to 2. Then we again get an E and we increment that to 3. So now every time we increment a counter, we just need to make sure that the counter variable is less than k. Once it becomes greater than k, we just need to remove that element, because now as k equal to 3, we just remove this part of substring. Okay, so every time our counter becomes equal to k, we just remove that particular element. Then we move ahead further, then we have a D, but before adding, we just need to check that if it is already present. So D is already present, So rather than adding a new element, we just increment that again. Now again we have b, so it is not present, so we just add a new element b1. Then we again encounter another b, so we just increment it to 2. Then we have a c. Now c is not present, because the last element we have is b, so we just take c and let's make it to 1. We have again one more c, so increment it, and again one more c, so we just increment it to 3. Now we have counter as 3, which is equal to k, so we just remove that particular element. Now after this we are here, right? So the next element that we have is b, but in this we have exactly on top, that is b, so we just increment its counter to 3. Now that we have counter it to 3, which is equal to k, so again this time too we have to remove this element. Then we have d, and d2 is already present on the top, so we just increment its counter to 3, and which is equal to k, so we remove this element too. And now we are left with empty table. And then we move forward, we have next element as a, which we do not have in the table, so let's make a equal to 1. And again we have a, so let's just increment it to 2. Now we are at the end of the string, and we have the final table, and this is the answer which we want, that is a number of times. So if we have if we are left with any other things, we just make the string out of it, that is we have a 2 times, so we just a make 2, and this is our final answer. And that's it. So this will make a lot more sense once we start coding it. Now before starting to implement, we need to think of what is the data structure that we would be using, because we need to store the key value pairs, right? So for every character we would be needing to store its counter, which would be an end. So we would require something like of a pair, because that particular character would map to its counter. And every time we encounter a new character which is not on the top, so in that case we would be adding multiple pairs. So we can think of maybe like a vector, or I think we can go with a stack too, because we'll be doing the operation just from the one end. So let's just go with a vector. Now after this, now we will start with implementing, because we need to iterate the complete string that s we are given. So let us do that. Okay, so now let's see what this part of the code does. So what we are basically doing is we are just iterating the string that we are given for every character. So for every character, we need to check one thing, that we need to initially check that if our vector is empty, because if nothing is present, how we will check if it is already similar to the previous one. So if it is empty, then we just push it back the first element, because the character that it is occurring is the first time. Or the one more condition when we'll be pushing it back is that whenever the current element that we are on is not equal to the previous ones, so the vector is the back function says the last element that is present in the vector, and the first says what is the character that is present in the last element of the pair. So we are checking if that element is not equal to the previous one, because whenever we saw if the element currently we are on is not same as the previous one, then we just push it back into our data structure. And else if our element is not different and it is the same as the previous one, then we just increment it. That is just we saw in our explanation. And every time we increment the counter, we need to check that if that counter incremented is equal to k, because if it is equal to k, we just need to remove that particular element from the data structure, that is the vector of pair. Okay, now once we are outside this loop, we are almost done, because now we have the vector that contains the final answer. We just need to create a string which would basically we have to return. This is the data type, so let's just do that. Okay, so now what we have done basically is we have created a string which we need to return, that is the result. And basically we had a vector of pairs which contains just the elements that are to be present in the string, right? So every time we are iterating in the vector, we are getting a pair. So rather than that, this auto means it will automatically detect what the data type is in C++. So basically this element is a pair, And what we are doing is the result variable, that is the string we that we need to return. We are appending the append function does is the number of times that we have to append any particular character. So element dot first is basically our character, and element dot second is our frequency, that how many times it occurs, right? So append basically takes that particular character and multiplies it with the number of times that should be present and just appends it. Okay, and after exiting this loop, we basically have the result which we just return. Now that we have coded, let's just run our code. It should most probably work, and yes, let's just submit it. And yes, we are getting faster than 91% of C++ and less than 52% of space. So that's all for this video, guys. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. If you need more such content or lead code questions, then do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.